Well, you know, I have to say one of the many things I love in a garden is lavender, so it's a delight for me to be here with Chris from Barn Owl Nursery, and we are going to be talking about lavender in the garden and some information about it. So let's start with this, which to me right now looks absolutely beautiful. Which variety is this?
And this is English lavender, or Lavandula angustifolia
Okay.
Imperial Gem.
Wow.
And it's one of the darkest ones.
So I have to hit it right away though. Looking down on this, I clearly see some space that's empty.
Yes.
Because if you grow it for a while, it seems like almost all lavenders tend to flop. But you tend to think that's a pruning issue if we pay attention.
I think that if you start early and you prune often, at least hard once a year,
Right.
that you can take it down to a third of the way and it leave about 3 sets of leaves and encourage new growth on that woody base, and then actually have lavenders that will look better in your garden.
Well, and this is proof. This was out
Yes.
in your fields that you're growing for testing and stuff and blooms. This was one of them, and when I saw this I went, wow, that's a lot of cut off. So how would you cut this when you were pruning out there?
Well, you still want to leave some green,
Uh-huh.
but if you see new growth even further down the base, you can force that if you cut off all the flowers and into the foliage, and then water it well and maybe add a little fertilizer, and that will encourage that green growth at the base to fill in that woody area.
Well, Chris, because I am a man who loves pictures to see what you're talking about, we're going to take a walk over to another stand that you have that actually shows
Yes.
where that's growing down there. Okay, Chris, now we're in another part of this charming display garden you have of these plants. And tell me first of all the name of this whitish one.
This is English lavender, Lavandula angustifolia opal rain, developed in Oregon.
Beautiful. Now, this is the one I was talking about. Down here, you can clearly see that they're growing down deep in the wooded area.
Yes, and you could cut down all the way to the woody base
Wow.
where that new growth starts and force it to fill in.
And what time of year would you do that?
I think spring would probably be the best time.
Because you would know if it's growing at
Exactly.
springtime. Okay.
Exactly.
And then that would not deter it from blooming that year then, or would it?
Yes, it probably would.
Okay.
So I would have to be very careful since I'm let this bloom, I probably would not do this till next spring.
Till next spring. But then again, you get a much denser, much more full looking
Yes.
shrub for the following years.
Yes.
Wonderful. Now there is one more place that I want to take us. We're going to go over and look at a beautiful garden of all kinds of types of lavender. Okay, Chris, now we are standing in a beautiful kind of little display of lavender. Tell me where this all came from.
Look, my idea was to have lavender collector's garden, to have different varieties of English lavender and French varieties as well that bloom at different times, and different growth habits, and also to attract pollinators. So this particular plant is a good example of where it's splitting open. It's heavy with flowers right now. And this is English lavender, or Lavandula angustifolia super blue. And it's a beautiful blue, dark blue flower. What I don't like about it is it has split open because it's heavy with flowers, but also because of overhead watering and the rain that we just had. So what I'll want to do later, as we talked about, is prune heavily to get this to spring back to shape after I harvest the flowers.
Because there are things like that that are going to occur with a lot of different lavenders,
Yes.
and you just want people to know that there is a way to really solve the problem and have still full, beautiful lavenders year after year after year.
Absolutely.
And then there's also a wonderful event happening. Tell me about that.
Yes, our Oregon Lavender Farm Tour is always the second weekend of July, and we have members of the Oregon Lavender Association that open up their farms and have all kinds of activities and show people how to grow lavender in gardens and in the field, and have lots of beautiful products to offer. And it's an opportunity for people to visit their farm.
Right, right. And see
And
them
see
from
all of
all
that.
over Oregon. And then also tell me, you have a great thing that we're going to put on our website about lavender and sizes and stuff. Give me a brief description of that.
Yes, what I did was, there are so many varieties of lavender, and it's so difficult to decide what you might want to grow or what will fit in your garden. So what I did was take that list of the English lavenders, the French varieties, and some of the others, and break it down into color of the flower and into the sizes and their particular quality that they might have, whether they produce oil or...
Delightful. Well, there you have it. Now listen, if you would love to go on this lavender tour, you can go to gardentime.tv. We can click you over to that website. Or if you would love to come out to this wonderful nursery, and they also have a tremendous gift shop here too. It's absolutely adorable. So if you want information on that, go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to her website. I cannot tell you how delightful this has been. Thank you so much, Chris.
Appreciate it.